Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the Unita Hara podcast. And of course, we've got Nick.
Hello. How you doing?
Dude, I'm good. I'm excited as hell for this show.
I was going to say, we didn't do like any pleasantries really before we started recording. I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
How was everything?
It was good, man. Very expensive. To say I'm broke right now would be an understatement. I have no money. But well worth it. Well worth it. We really enjoyed it. And I'm telling you, man, Hawaii is like, it feels like another world, like straight up. It's just everything looks different. Everything feels different. I didn't even think I was in the United States. Like technically it is, but that place is an island. I hiked a volcano. It was awesome. I had fun.
Let me ask you this. Is there, because when I was a kid, I went to Cancun, and there is commercial Cancun, right, where it's really nice and it's lovely, but there are other parts that are miserable around there, and it's really, is it the same with Hawaii? Is there commercial areas, or it's just...
It's it's more or less commercial islands. Some of the islands are commercial. There's 6 islands in total, and some of them are just like not industrialized at all. So there's nobody there. And the island we went to, Maui, is very industrialized, is very commercialized, but the entire island is nice. I mean, the entire thing. It's only about 2 hours from end to end, so it's not massive. But and then you have the big island, which is Hawaii. I mean, they just pronounce it a little bit differently. That one is the most commercialized, but we didn't go to that one. We just went to Maui. And then you have ones like Oahu, which is where Jurassic Park, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, all those movies were filmed on Oahu. So, and that's where you get all those, the forests and the volcanoes and all. That's Oahu. There's hardly any commercialization there. You can travel there, but it's mainly for like hiking and sightseeing. I wanted to go there. I saw the one shot. Actually, that's not true. There's 2 shots in Jurassic Park that were on Maui. The one of the rock with the helicopter going into the opening in the mountains, that was on Maui. I got to see that in person. That was awesome. And then the waterfall, as the helicopter is landing for the first time, there's that giant waterfall behind them. That was also on Maui, but you can't reach that waterfall by foot. You have to take a helicopter tour because it's like deep, deep in the mountains. So I didn't get to see that, but I told her, I said, we got to go back because I got to go to Oahu because I got to see those filming locations. So yeah, man, it's awesome. Awesome. They have microclimates there too, which is different. It's like when you're on the volcano like we were, which is about a little over 10,000 feet in the air, it's like 50 degrees and raining. No matter how, it never gets hot up there. It's like its own microclimate. Yeah. So first day we tried to drive up there. It's like a 2-hour drive up the mountain too, because you have to drive like 15 miles an hour the whole time. And we got out of the car, it was raining, and it was like 45. And we were like, we did not prepare for this. So we came back the next day, and we had hoodies and sweatpants, and that's when we hiked. But yeah, they got microclimates. It's crazy, man. If you can ever get the chance to go. Because although it's very expensive, I've never seen anything like it.
Now, really quick, let me ask you, in terms of expensive, are we talking like if you want a hamburger, is it like $7-8 or...
I'm glad you asked that for perspective. When you go to McDonald's, Christian, like if you ever do, I rarely do, but if you do and you get a combo meal, you expect to spend what, $7 to $10? Yeah. One morning when we were trying to save money, we went to McDonald's for breakfast. Breakfast combo meals, $15. For the same food you get here. I spent $35 for 2 people to eat breakfast at McDonald's.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, it's everything's the same. It's just a lot more expensive because they got to import that stuff to the island. So I get it, but it sucked.
Were you ready to come? Were you ready to come home?
Oh yeah. I miss my son. Hardcore. I've never been away from him that long. And you know, I told her many times, I missed YouTube. Like I didn't lie. I was like, I miss doing, my shows and stuff. Like it's fun. She understood. She thinks I'm kind of lame, but whatever. So yeah, I was ready to come home. I just didn't want to go back to work. And And I was texting you about it. I got in late as hell Monday night. I was back at work Tuesday morning, jet lagged because it's a 6-hour time difference, but I was there. So yeah, but yeah, I was ready to be back. Enough about me. I appreciate you asking, and to everybody that congratulated me and wished me well on my trip and stuff. I appreciate it, guys. I made it back safely, and we're ready to pick this thing back up.
That's right. The only few preliminary things I think I'll add is I've been going through the Halloween 4Ks, and it's been really nice. I have restrained myself from just putting in Halloween 5 and watching the footage, so I'm watching them as I'm reviewing them. So I don't have 2 yet, but I did 1 and 3, and I'm so pleased with the picture quality on 3. It looks so freaking good.
I've heard they all look awesome. And guys, I am a victim of Amazon's delays. So, and I don't have enough money right now to go to Best Buy or Walmart and try to pick them up and then just cancel on Amazon because I've already paid for the Amazon ones, but I don't have any money. So I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place. So I'm just waiting. It says I think it says now I'm going to get 4 of them next week, 4 out of the 5. So I guess I can wait a little bit longer, but people are saying they're watching that Halloween 5 footage on YouTube now. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm waiting until I can watch.
I paid for it. I'm waiting on it.
I'm not doing that.
The Friday the 13th footage. From part 2, all that hit YouTube basically a day after that box set started getting in people's hands. As a matter of fact, I think some guy actually compiled that footage into part 2 and edited because there was no audio on that because it was Carl Fullerton's like a real VHS tape just to show like companies as like, hey, this is my work I've done for films. But somebody I think edited in those clips and put audio with it and blended it and made like an uncut part 2 you could watch, which is cool. Yeah. The fans are insane, man, the stuff they can do. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does this eventually. Actually, I can't comment yet because I haven't watched it, but I know that they added in fake audio and stuff that wasn't, which is cool. I appreciate that.
Well, he said there was no audio on the
exactly.
Yeah.
And so. I was talking to somebody about this, and they weren't complaining. And I'm not going to name the person. It was just a buddy of mine, and they were like, I'm not down with like I would have rather them not put anything in as opposed to fake audio and stuff because it's not real. I said just mute your TV, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mute your goddamn TV.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to watch that. So I'm gonna watch after the stream. I'm gonna do Halloween 4 and then 5.
Are you watching the movies front to back?
Yeah. I mean part 1 I skimmed the Blu-ray, the 4K. I watched about 15, 20, I say maybe a little bit longer than that. I probably sat down and watched about 30 minutes or so of the actual 4K and skimmed. Basically, I got a sense of what the scenes were like and the color schemes and stuff. Yeah. And then I compared it. That it's weird. The original color timing disc, I'm still trying to figure out which one I like better. You'll have to tell me what you think when you see it. Because the third Blu-ray is the original color time. And then the first one is the new scans and stuff. So they do look different. Like some of the green lawns and the bushes, you'll notice it. Take a picture when you do it. I'm having a hard time figuring out which one I like the best. But I'm excited, man. It's been really fun. I'm nervous to see the picture quality on 4 and 5. 3, it always looked like Tommy Lee Wallace just had the best camera for 3. Yeah. That film always looked really good. Out of all of them, I always thought that 3 looked the best.
It does. And honestly, 4 and 5, I love both movies, guys. So this is not me hating, but if I was going to nitpick, 4 and 5 both have at times a very made for TV look, like both of them do. So it's like, I'm weary about the transfers too, because although there are some great shots in both of those movies, there's also some shots where I'm like, am I watching a Lifetime movie right now? Like you really,
definitely.
Yeah. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Let me know as soon as you watch it, though, how it is.
Sure. And it's so other than that, the only thing that's cool is I finally got my clown today.
I saw it.
Yeah. But I bought him online, so he's cute. I love him. And I love this movie.
Yeah,
I got the guy. I'm pretty much done with Spirit. Not in a bad way. Like I got everything I wanted. I love this movie so much. I was so excited that Killer Clowns got merchandise this year. This is one of my favorite movies, period, from the 80s. Yeah. So this is what we're doing today, Nick. Let's just get into it because I'm so excited. We're going to talk about the different Halloween timelines, the potential timelines. So what I mean by that is the way some people talk about how 1 through 6 isn't necessarily just one timeline. You could say 1 through 8 is an actual timeline. And we're going to talk about fan theories. Now, I want to make a disclaimer right now. We are not coming at this, and we're not going to just pretend like any of these theories are legitimate. Like these directors and filmmakers behind these films literally had this kind of stuff in mind, because to really think that is really silly. We're having fun, and we're having fun with the lore that the fans create, okay? And I want to talk about some of these that I hear and just have fun with them, okay? We're going to have fun today, talk about all the crazy stuff Halloween fans can talk about. There's some wild Halloween theories that I've heard about.
I can definitely talk about that.
Perfect. But let's start with the timelines. Nick, how many timelines, in your opinion, are there in this franchise? And really think about this.
Okay, so you have the brother-sister timeline of 1, 2, H2O Resurrection. That's one timeline.
So 4 movies.
Yes.
Right there.
You have the alternate Strode timeline of not brother-sister, which is 1, 18, kills, ends. So that's 2 timelines. Then you've got the standalone of Halloween 3's timeline. So that's 3. Then you've got Halloween 2, 4, 5, 6 as a timeline. I'm trying to think. Yeah, 2, 4, 5, 6 as a timeline. So that's, what are we at now? 4?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got Rob Zombies, and that's 5. Now, you could get technical, and you could say, well, couldn't we technically say that 4, 5, 6 can also be in the Laurie Strode timeline, and they just don't mention Jamie and H2O and Resurrection? I don't buy that personally. I guess you could suspend disbelief and say, okay, screw it, whatever. I don't buy it, though. Mainly just because there was no talk of Michael Myers for 20 years. So if he would have gone and hacked up Haddonfield 3 previous times after H2, we would have heard something about it. So in my opinion, 5 timelines. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you. I'll try this now. And I'm not looking at a bunch of the notes, and I posted when I was going to keep this show quiet, like I was telling you, but I figured, no, let's get the audience involved. So I had people reach out to me, telling me their thoughts. But before we get to all that kind of stuff on theories, so you got, I think I'm close to you. How many timelines did you have in total? You had
5.
5. Okay, so you've got, I think you could say 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 is its own timeline, right?
Oh, my bad, guys. Yeah, let me correct myself. When I said 2, 4, 5, 6,
I know what you meant.
1. Yeah, you include 1.
So yeah, then you got that. Obviously, you've got the original with the new movies. Halloween 3 is its own thing, but I had some people message me about Halloween 3 could be.
It can't. It's a movie.
We're gonna have we're gonna. Then you've got. Is there an argument that some people can have where they say you've got? No, never mind. No. It can't be. It's got to be 1, 2, and then 18. It can't be. I mean, 1, 2, and then H2O. You can't do 1 then H2O, because 2 is where you find out that's his sister. Yes. So I'm already getting confused. Basically, I agreed with everything you said. I think, but there are people that do think, and I have a friend, I'm going to call him out. His name is Jess Graham, who does believe, good guy, but we're going to put him to the test here, that 1 through 8, with the exclusion of 3, of course, is a timeline. Initial thoughts on that, and don't hold back.
As I said from the top, look, Christian and I were texting about this the other day. There are a bunch of conspiratorial theories you can get into, of get into the minutia of really trying to make everything fit. But that is a square peg in a round hole, because if they were, there would have been news from 4, 5, and 6, what happened in Haddonfield all those years later. Because by the time we pick back up in H2O, the cop at the very beginning openly talks about how Michael has been, basically MIA for 20 years. Lori went into hiding, all that. I think the police would know if Michael had gone back to Haddonfield 3 other times since 78 and killed a bunch of people. So I can't buy it. And you know, Jess, like I said, these fan theories are awesome. So like, more power to you. I just can't bend my mind.
I want to believe. I
know.
want to believe. So,
but I just can't, because, and then you've got, I mean, there's just, you would have heard nothing, like nothing. They know everything that happened in Halloween and Halloween 2. But then, like, oh yeah, Michael did come back like 10 years later and kill like a shitload of people, more than he did in 78. But we're not going to talk about that. Like, no, they said he'd been missing for 20 years. No.
All right, hold on. Hold on. Let me devil's advocate. So if Lori goes into the witness protection program after Halloween 2, right? Let's say she had a little girl, or let's say she had the girl before she went into the witness protection. Okay, see, this is, you know what? I'm gonna read what Jess Graham has sent for the show. Sometimes you have to squint your eyes to make these theories work, but you have to do that anyway in official timelines. First off, the first 8 Halloween movies are in the same timeline. H2O is not a direct sequel to Halloween 2. In part 4, it is said she was killed in an accident. In H2O, she said she faked her death. So far, you know... End of story. That's what he put, okay? End of story. However, some whine about having a son now. Well, maybe she remarried or had a one-night stand with a guy and had the son after Jamie Lloyd. I think we all discussed this in the show, why Jamie wasn't mentioned. And he's referring to the show that we did. Okay, let's stop right there. Let's put the calculator to this. Jamie was how old in 1988? In
Jamie
the movie
was, Jamie was 8.
She was 8 years old?
Yeah.
Which means Lori had to have had Jamie the day after Halloween 2.
Wait,
no. It's 78. It's 78. This dude might be on to something. Hold on, goddammit. Okay. And again, we're having fun, guys.
Yes, we are.
I already see people listening to me thinking I take this seriously. No, this is the theory show, okay? This is the Mythbusters. So, if she had... If Halloween 2 takes place in 78, which makes sense, right? Because it's the same night. I keep forgetting that. The movie comes out, what, 81?
81, yeah.
Okay. So, let's say she had... If she was 8 years old in 88, that means that Lori... had the kid in 81, right?
She would have had her in 80, yeah. Okay,
so let's say we have to understand why she would go into the witness protection program 2 years after the incident. So that's a big plot hole. We need to fill in Jess's plot hole right there. Why is it 2 years?
It can't be filled in. So then, but I mean, if you want to play devil's advocate and be like, well, hold on, we can make this timeline work. I guess the least you could say, maybe Lori stayed, you know, for her parents or whatever, to try to move past it. And then after 2 years or whatever, like all the talk in the town and whatnot just was too much for her. And she said, you know, or maybe her paranoia caught up with her and she thought, what if Michael's not dead? You know, maybe you could say that. You could say, like, she tried to stick it out with her family, but realized it was too much and went off.
I've got a really dark theory.
Oh, God.
This is brutal.
Was she in Ben Tramer's basement for 2 years? And then it wasn't until... Okay.
No. And this was the Halloween that was too wild to be made.
Oh, here we go.
The real Halloween 3. And I don't think you're ready for my theory.
Pour it.
So, in Halloween 6, we learned that Michael performed incest.
Oh, yeah,
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, you know...
He's a dunkle.
So, the reason Lori goes into the witness protection program in 1980 is because Michael retracked down Lori and impregnated her with a baby girl. And after that, she loses it, goes into witness protection.
Holy shit.
She goes into witness protection. And then she meets a guy the next day after she falls in love quickly after the witness protection. She falls into the arms of another lover and has a son, but the relationship doesn't work out quickly. So she's raising her son in Northern California?
Yep. Summer Glen, California.
So 1980 was okay, 81 technically, because if 1998 is Halloween H2O, he turned 17 in the film, right? When at the birthday card?
Yeah.
I just figured out what happened.
Yes, guy.
And does it check out?
Okay, so if we're talking like
that?
Mathematically and scientifically, it checks out. You could say it. And I will say Michael is a dunkle. So I wouldn't put it past him to also be I don't even know which a brother lover, a brother and a lover. Like I wouldn't put it past him, but I don't know, because then you could say, oh, see, and Michael wanted to continue his reign of impregnating family, and that's why he impregnated Jamie. Like oh man.
But see, that is the only logical explanation. And if you say that sounds far-fetched, he did molest. Dude, oh my God, that makes it even nastier. He's an uncle and a father. Oh God.
Yeah, he's a dunkle. Dude, man.
This is dark. This is some dark stuff right here.
I will say this, guys. We do not think that this is real.
We're having fun. We're having fun.
If you really look into Christian's crazy theory, it can check out mathematically. It really can. And then you really have to look at yourself and be like, if there was even just one Halloween producer that had this in the back of their minds, that is the most screwed up individual on the face of the earth, because it checks out. But man.
She has a busy 9 months basically.
Oh,
after Halloween 2 ends, but that's what I'm going with. So 1 through 8 is an actual timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
we need to get this in production. Let me call Jason Blum real quick.
Okay.
Oh, I'll shoot him a text. Let him know. Okay, well, Jess Graham. So I put in the puzzle pieces of Jess Graham's Halloween 1 through 8 timeline.
You just gave Jason Blum the idea of where to go after Halloween ends.
I don't know. I may need to call Troma for this one, because they might be the only ones that would make this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe A24 if you portray this movie in that certain light.
Yeah.
Halloween, the raping of Michael Myers.
Hey, just get Toni Collette to star in it, and they'll back it. They'll back it for sure. I would watch it. I mean, I feel like after I watched Halloween Resurrection, like I would watch any Halloween movie. But man, is that dark.
Let's, you know what? We can't move. This is way too good not to move on from. Help me remember why he impregnated Jamie Lloyd in 6.
They don't really explain, aside from the fact that I guess part of the curse is that she was supposed to have a baby was supposed to be the final blood sacrifice, but there was no blood baby in the family. So they essentially forced Michael, in order to complete the curse, to create a baby with his bloodline, so then he could sacrifice it.
Okay. So let's say that Michael impregnated, this is so dark. Let's say Michael impregnated Lori to kill both of them.
Try to end the curse 10 years before that. Yeah.
He said, "Well, I gotta kill Lori and a baby, so let me
Yeah.
knock her up. Let the baby come to life. Let the baby be born, then kill both of them." But she gets away to witness protection.
Yeah. I mean, guys, there is some gold here.
Only then would Jamie Lee Curtis's performance in 2018 make sense, because that is the darkest persona of a human being ever in 2018. Now, if you told me she got raped by Michael and all that, this video is so demonetized it's not even funny.
I was gonna say that, but
Jesus, man. Okay. So we
I'm
filled
glad
in the
I'm
plot.
drinking for it. Like I'm enjoying
Good.
one because I feel like it just fits, man.
All right, so Jess Graham also has a way to include Halloween 3 in 1 through 8.
Let's go. Let's hear
This
it.
better be very clever.
I don't know if clever is the word we're gonna use, but
Okay,
I'm just
are you ready
messing
for
with you,
this?
Jess. Yes.
We love you, Jess. And thank you for submitting these to us.
I'm interested to hear this. I really am.
Okay. Next is my Halloween 3 connects to the rest of the series theory. In Halloween 3, the Atkins and Ellie, I love how he refers to them as the Atkins.
The Atkins.
The Atkins and Ellie are in search to find clues, looking for what happened to Ellie's father.
Yes.
In his records at his costume shop, the last person he had scheduled appointment with was Minnie Blankenship. Uh-oh, you see where he's going here?
Oh.
In Halloween 6.
Blankenship. That old lady wouldn't hear a truck drive through her living room.
In Halloween 6, we have a supporting character named Mrs. Blankenship. An obvious attempt by a writer to connect part 3. Hold on. Mrs. Blankenship is associated with witchcraft thorn cult. Halloween 3 Celtic witchcraft cult.
Stonehenge.
We have a little bit of a problem so far, Jess. Halloween is an actual movie in Halloween 3. That's a little bit of a speed bump with this, but we're gonna see.
Well, hold on. It's more than a little bit, because Halloween is canon in Halloween 6, because she mentions, I was babysitting him that night, little Mikey Myers. Like, babysitting with him or something like that. They try to add lore to it. So Halloween and Halloween 6 is a real event. It happened, but in Halloween 3, it's not. So
maybe there's an interdimensional thing we're about to.
Maybe it's like the Stab movies and Scream. Wait
a minute. Oh my! I can't believe you. Hold on. Jess is smart. Also, he has an also in all capitals. Okay. Laurie Strode is in Halloween 3. Jamie Lee Curtis makes an uncredited cameo as the telephone operator announcer. Pause.
She does not take credit for it. She says that wasn't her, but she's lying.
Devil's advocate, okay? And I want to believe it's her, but can you with certainty look me in my optic stems and tell me there's not a chance that was Deborah?
I know what Deborah sounded like, and I know what Jamie sounds like. And every time I've watched that movie, I've intentionally listened for it just to be like, oh, there's that. It sounds more like Jamie than Deborah. 1. 2, who was it that told us it was Jamie? Tommy Lee Wallace. Tommy Lee Wallace, although he's an older man, go back and watch the Halloween 3 Horrors Hallowed Grounds with Sean Clark. That man hadn't been to Santa Mira in 30 years, or Lolita, the actual town. He remembered where they shot everything. The dude's memory is really good. He knew stuff Sean didn't know, and Sean did probably weeks of research to make sure he got everything right. Tommy's like, oh, no, actually, we shot in this building right here, and we did this, and we had it set up like this 30 years ago. He said he hadn't been to the town in 30 years. So if Tommy Lee Wallace says that's Jamie Lee, that's Jamie Lee. What I've heard fans say is she probably just doesn't remember because it was so inconsequential. And if you remember, in the early 80s, she was very good friends with John, Deborah, Tommy, all of them. They were good friends. So I'm sure Tommy one night they could have been drunk. Who knows? Here, record this for me really quick, and I'll just put it in my movie. And she doesn't remember, but it was Jamie. It was Jamie. I don't care what she says. It was Jamie.
Okay, fair enough. And I want to believe it's her too, but there's always something in the back of my head that says, what if that was Deborah Hill?
Yeah. No, I respect it. I can see it.
And it makes so much more sense that Deborah would have done it because she was so involved. She's a producer. She's a producer, for God's sakes. What was Jamie doing in 82? Was she doing road games or something? So it's like hard to say.
But that's why I say that it is very plausible, because I know that they were all close. You know, I know that they were a friend group that partied together. And, you know, obviously Tony Moran started those bullshit rumors that Jamie Lee was hooking up with everyone. Everyone else said that wasn't true. But I think what he meant really was that they were all good friends that partied together, which is true. But as far as that stuff, but yeah, I believe she did it and she just doesn't remember, because it was what, 5 seconds of dialogue, 10 maybe.
It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
curfew time.
Yeah, like
all residents of Santa Mira. Okay, I will concede that if we had to do a gentleman's bet, I would put the odds on. I would put the odds on Jamie. But maybe it's part of me that just wants it to be Deborah, for God's sakes. You know what I mean? Like,
that'd be cool. You know, a little Easter egg that we never even knew. We were misled for 30 plus years.
And I tell you what, if Deborah, God rest her soul, if she was here, you know damn well that woman would know.
Oh man, Kristen, you just reminded me of something. Next year is Halloween 3's 40th anniversary.
I know.
That is wild. I didn't even think about that. Sorry, that's off topic, but not off topic. It's just crazy to think it's been that long.
It's wild, man.
Well, I'll be dead soon, guys.
In the meantime, let's actually use the time wisely and talk more about wild fan theories.
Let's talk about.
We're not finished. So we are going to concede for this theory, although I would probably assume too. I do think that is Jamie. I do, but it's like I'm 90-10. There's still 10% of me that says that's Deborah Hill.
I agree. But like you said, if I'm betting on Jamie. So I'm going to say it's Jamie.
All right. So let me reread this so we can make sense of this again, because it's not done. In Halloween 3, the Atkins and Ellie are in search to find clues looking for what happened to Ellie's father. In his records at his costume shop, the last person he had scheduled an appointment with was Minnie Blankenship. In Halloween 6, we have a supporting character named Mrs. Blankenship, an obvious attempt by a writer to connect part 3. Mrs. Blankenship is Mrs. Blankenship is associated with witchcraft, the Thorn Cult. Halloween 3, Celtic witchcraft cult. Also, Laurie Strode is in Halloween 3. Jamie Lee Curtis makes an uncredited cameo as the telephone operator announcer. Halloween 3 takes place in Northern California. H2O, Laurie is hiding out as a teacher at a private school in Northern California. She could have possibly worked. Hold on. She could have possibly worked as an operator for a while after she faked her death before becoming a teacher. The original Halloween TV spot with Michael Myers in part 3 can be looked at like Stab is to Scream.
Oh.
Okay, so here is my next theory to add on to that. Jamie Lee was a robot in H2O.
Okay, so
let's break this down.
Let's break it down. So you had me until, which is ironically because I said this too, Stab, because theoretically you could say, well, it could have been like a Stab situation, but the footage you see on the television in Halloween 3 is the copy paste footage from Halloween 1978. And anybody that had seen Halloween 1978 knows that. It wasn't like a knockoff. It wasn't like you could say, well, that's a reboot. No, Jamie Lee is in that. Like, that woman is there. So unless Laurie Strode agreed 2 years after the events that happened to her, or 3 years, to do a movie shot for shot what she actually lived in her life, then it can't be her.
But you're telling me there's a chance
that someone said $50 million and you reenact what happened to you for a movie, and it's like Stab, total recreation. You could. So Jess, I will give you the benefit of the doubt here. There is a chance, no matter how small it is. But yeah, we're really getting into some far theories here, but I'm digging it.
Oh man, it's a good time to announce that we have a sponsor for the podcast. Anchor themselves has sponsored us. If you want to start a podcast, download the Anchor app, and you can start podcasting and uploading for absolutely free and make money without paying anything. Thank you, Anchor, for sponsoring this show.
Thank you, Anchor.
For now, anyway.
Yes, and ignore some of the content from today. I see Christian also has the. Is that? No, never mind. I thought that was a Captain Spaulding air freshener on your mic. It's not, is it?
A Captain Spaulding air freshener?
No, never mind. I'm looking at something behind you. Never mind. You don't have the Captain Spaulding air freshener? Oh, yeah. You don't have a Halloween City.
I have a mini Halloween City, which I told you was garbage.
Yeah.
You want to talk about another few more fan theories?
Let's do it. Are these submissions you got? Now are they okay with being their name being put out there?
I'll leave names out.
Okay.
But I'd like to assume that they're watching.
Yes. And if you are, let us know down below that this was your theory. Because these are fun. There's no judgment here.
All right. This is just some silly, goofy ones.
That's fine.
All the movies exists in Loomis's mind. He's actually locked up in an insane asylum.
After Halloween 5, Loomis, you could totally make that case.
I have a fan theory, and I've shared this with you. The reason Loomis is quirky in Halloween 5 is because he's an alcoholic. He's a full-blown alcoholic in Part 5. When he got a ride with the preacher, I call him the preteen preacher because I think that dude was dirty as hell, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
I didn't trust him.
Yes, he was.
When he gave Loomis that shot of booze, he got hooked on it. And so in Halloween 5, I think Loomis as a character is wasted the entire movie.
And to add to Christian's theory, Donald Pleasance was an alcoholic. From everything. That is a strong word. Donald Pleasance really enjoyed his spirits. We know that.
Spirits.
Yes, so we'll just say that. Danielle Harris, Ellie Cornell, they've all talked about it. He definitely loved his liquor. I think it was bourbon or whiskey. Yeah, I guess the same thing. Whatever. So that's not far-fetched, Christian. It's really not.
All right. This is the most submitted one.
Oh, here we go.
And I remember some of my friends talking about this. Actually, hold on. Before we get there, this is one that I actually was excited to bring up. Michael was legitimately dead in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Laurie did all the killings.
That is fantastic.
I've been going over that in my head. Were there any scenes? Hold on. Let's go to the.
Hold on, Christian. I got to be honest with you. I don't think there's an entire scene. There's a scene in that entire movie where Laurie is with someone with Michael when they die, aside from Loomis. And at that point, you could say that she was just having the full mental break when Loomis was saying there's no one holding you down, like get up, get up. You could say she killed him. But every other death in that movie, her friend Maya dies downstairs. Annie dies when she's not there. Everyone dies when Laurie is not present in the same room with Michael in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Again, now, people, I got to make sure, while we're talking about this, I want you to know we're just having fun, for God's sakes, okay?
No, this is real. This is real, guys.
Okay, hold on.
I'm signing off on it.
Hold on. Okay, so the scene where Michael kills the farmers and one of the farmers' sisters or girlfriends, that was late at night after Michael escaped from the ambulance, right? Where was Laurie at that time?
No, that's about 35, 40 minutes into the movie. when he kills them.
Okay, okay. Do you remember where she was at that time in the movie?
She was, well, yeah, this does complicate things. She was eating with Annie and Sheriff Brackett. They were eating pizza because
That's
then
right.
after Michael kills them, he starts eating the dog and she goes and throws up. So, but you could make the case that she's just replaying the events in her mind from Michael's perspective while she's eating dinner and then goes and throws up because we
What if
don't
the
know they're taking place at the same time.
Yeah, or what if the entire movie is a I'm trying to tie in the very, very end of the movie on this, but no, like, what if that the entire no, I can't do it. I can't even do it. I can't even say it without laughing.
Like, obviously, guys, I know that that is not what Robin intended, so it's not what actually happened, but I am.
Dude, what if you asked him? He's like, oh yeah, thank you. Finally, somebody figured.
But, well, I will say that is one that is honestly not that outlandish because what's H2 all about? Laurie's descent into psychosis. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, that's not far fetched. So whoever submitted that to all of you guys, you could be onto something there.
All right. Somebody said numerous Myers robots from the Silver Shamrock Factory, which is why the mask changes.
Yes.
Okay, this is the one. I got multiple submissions for this. This gained so much traction a while back, and this was one I thought was really silly. But dude, a lot of Halloween fanatics, they loved talking about this. Something about in the first movie, Michael wanted to Michael. I'm trying to word this right. People were trying to say that Annie, not Laurie, was the initial target of Michael.
Oh, yes, because of the speed kills. Yeah.
But I think that's silly. Wasn't Michael looking at Laurie outside of the window before that? So to me, that's ridiculous.
Michael made his choice with Laurie when she dropped off the key at the Myers house.
Thank you. That's even in the beginning of
Yes.
the movie.
Yes. So I think from that point, you even see him like he just how intently he's staring at her. Like he made his decision right there. Like, this seems fun. I'll go for this one. I think, though, to that theory, the reason why Annie died is because of the speed kills thing. Because if you look at it from, just look at it practically and go, why did she have to die? She didn't. She wasn't in his way.
She pissed him off.
Yeah, she was across the street. He knew Laurie was in the other house. He didn't need to do anything to Annie, but
Right.
she pissed him off. And he's in the backyard. You see the back door scene is great. When she's on the phone, he's there. And then she, like bends over and whatever, comes back and he's gone. Maybe he's making his way to the Doyle house and he sees her through the window and he goes, oh, that bitch. And then decides in that moment, I'm going to kill her.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's why she died, because she was not in his way. She didn't impede his progress whatsoever. He just wanted to kill her. Now you could say that's it's just because he's pure evil. He has no motive. Yes, but also you can be pure evil with no motive, but he clearly had a target, and it was Laurie Strode. Even if it wasn't his sister at the time, she was his target. Like,
yeah, I mean, especially it makes even less sense when you include Halloween 2 with this movie, right?
Oh yeah,
it's a sister.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard that, I was like, what? And then when people would try to explain it, I was like, but wait a minute.
Yeah, I've heard it a lot too. There's actually,
and it's an interesting. It's an interesting. I'm not making fun of anybody for putting some weight to that. But to me, it's just like, I know we're having so much fun. I created an incest angle to connect connect 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
In your defense, though, it's already in the franchise with Jamie, so it's not like you.
Which is why it makes sense.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But Nancy Steven, but that whole thing, I was just like, there's way too many scenes in the beginning that would make that so implausible to me. It's not even remotely. It has that holds no weight to me whatsoever.
I have to agree with that, just because when you really get into the minutia of it, it doesn't. make much sense. But like you said, this is not to crap on anybody that has like brought that theory up and really like fleshed it out, because yeah, you absolutely could have that discussion, but no, it doesn't hold much water, I think, in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through some of the theories I've read online.
Oh, this will be great.
You ready for this one?
Hit me.
Michael Myers is the conservative agenda incarnate.
Oh, I've heard that from Lorne.
Let me read this. A common hypothesis for slasher movies in general is that their respective murderers are manifestations of a conservative culture violently lashing out at a liberal youth, with the likes of Michael killing teenagers for daring to indulge in sex, drugs, and other immoral vices.
Damn libtards, man.
Obviously, that's not something John Carpenter woke up when he was told he was going to make this movie. It's not something he thinks of. I think what it is sex sells movies, so you got to have sex in there, and it's also a great way to set up a vulnerable moment for somebody to get killed. That's going to create suspense. It's nothing more than that to me.
Yeah, and I made that joke 30 seconds ago. I don't care about, you know, when it comes to actual like sides in this of like right and left. I don't care, guys. I'm just messing around.
Right.
But to that point, it was Lorne on Region Free that was talking about that one night. And he made a good point that he essentially is the embodiment of, you know, society could look at him as the embodiment of the conservative agenda.
He got the people in the comments were not happy when he was saying that either.
Yes.
They were not happy.
And that's fine. I think Lorne was just trying to have a conversation about that. I don't think he was saying, yes, I agree with that entirely. I think he was just saying, like, if someone made that argument, you can't say that they're definitively wrong, because it's all up. Movies are up to our interpretation, are they not? So if you interpret it as one thing, maybe the filmmaker didn't mean for that, but like, look at a movie like It Follows. There are so many different interpretations of that film and what it means. And that is what good cinema is.
Right.
People can take different things away from it. So just having the discussion that, yeah, maybe Michael was the embodiment of the, you know, the conservative agenda, as they would call it. Again, it's just an interpretation. So don't lambaste us in the comments for that. We are just giving weight to that to say you're allowed to interpret that from this. Absolutely, because you're not the only person. And if you think about it, Michael, although he's just a masked psychopath on a rampage, he is seeming to target people doing drugs, drinking, having premarital sex. I'm just saying, like,
but is he really though? His target is Laurie, who's a virgin.
Yeah,
then he
exactly.
wants to kill a baby.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But then you could also make the case that this is another wild.
Those people just get in his way, for God's sakes. You know,
yeah. This is another wild fan theory. And
Michael is a libertarian. He's a small government.
Michael's part of the Green Party. Leave him out of this. But look, the one thing though about a fan theory with that, and it's not really so much a fan theory as something that people have talked about, is like especially with Rob Zombie's Halloween, when you saw him confront Laurie in the basement. We don't know that Michael ever actually wanted to kill Laurie in Halloween or Halloween 2. He injured her. He got close to her. Obviously, as the viewer, you surmise that he wants to kill her. But we can't say for certain that maybe he just didn't know how to deal with his emotions. Oh, sis, I love you. Instead of giving you a hug, I want to swipe at you with a scalpel. Like, we don't know.
Maybe he was going to take her somewhere. Take her to the cult.
And so many people were so pissed off in Rob Zombie's Halloween when there was that moment in the basement where he took his mask off and like showed Laurie the picture. I liked it because at least it was different. You know what I mean? In that version of in that timeline, Michael wanted to be like, no, dude, you're my sister. Like, hi, I came back to see you all grown up. Like, it's really macabre and weird, but yeah, okay. Like, cool, whatever, do something different. So I'm just saying, guys, we don't know that he ever even wanted to kill her. Maybe he was just like, you have all these shitty friends that are doing shitty things, and I just want to kill them all for you. Like,
maybe that goes back to the conservative.
He's just looking out for his sister, guys. I mean, again, there are so many rabbit holes that we can go down. So, I don't know. I'm making a case for everything. I don't want
And,
anyone to be wrong.
and here's the follow-up on that theory. This website is screenrant.com, just in case anybody's wondering where I got this. The idea of Michael, this is according to them, so I'm just reading this. The idea of Michael being a murderous moral guardian isn't just laughably draconian, but more importantly, false. According to John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the only reason why the promiscuous teenagers died in Halloween was because they were distracted, not because Michael represented celibacy and really hates premarital sex. I really, yeah, to say that he hates premarital sex would be an understatement, considering he raped his niece, for God's sakes.
True. I think premarital is the last thing he's worried about. No, John has come out, and so did Deborah. And I actually remember it was one documentary about the first film. I can't remember which one it was, but they expanded upon that about how people took that from the movie. And Deborah and John both said, that wasn't our intention. Like, we weren't trying to be like, oh, yeah, if you have sex or you drink or you do drugs, you're going to die. No, but it's just kind of in the DNA and horror, isn't it?
It's inherently interpretable.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I really do understand why that people come to that conclusion.
Like, Halloween was a product of its time, and every horror movie is in its own way. And what's ingrained in horror's DNA? If you drink, do drugs, or have sex, you're going to die. There's no underlying message there. It's just more about, I think, because horror movies, are, especially slashers, are more like, it's just kids having fun, cutting loose, relaxing, chilling. And what do you do when you cut loose? You relax, you drink, you do whatever you do. Well, the killer shows up and your fun's over. I don't think there's any underlying message there. It's just kind of in the DNA.
Yeah. I get why people come to that, but I never thought about it in that sense, because I'm just like, you're making a movie, it's a horror film, you got to have some sexuality because that sells movies. Right or wrong, that sells movies. So it's that simple to me.
Yeah.
Dude, there are some, you ready? Dude, some of these are insane. So
I'm ready.
Okay, the next one, I'm gonna have to read a little bit about this. Michael has CIP, otherwise known as congenital insensitivity to pain. One of Michael's trademarks is his inability to feel pain. No matter how many gunshots, stabs, or vehicles are aimed at him, Michael simply stands up and resumes the hunt. In reality, the imperviousness could actually be explained by science. Michael exhibits the symptoms of CIP, a rare condition where the patient simply feels no pain. While the Halloween movies present an extreme depiction of this disorder, it at least provides a logical reason for Michael's ability to walk off of a kind of punishment that's more plausible than whatever the Cult of Thorn wanted. I watched an actual episode on the TLC, which I think is the Learning Channel. To me, it stands for Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, but it's called the Learning Channel. And there was a special on a girl who her nerve receptors didn't register pain. And the parents had to keep a very keen eye on her because she could drink the hottest liquids in the world and burn her mouth up and she wouldn't feel it. And they actually had an episode where the girl was taking a bath and she turned the hot water on all the way, maxed it out, and got into the tub. And the tub was steaming hot, and she got out of the tub and her skin was almost blistering. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And the parents were like, "Oh my God, we have to turn the hot water heater down. The water was so hot, it started blistering her skin." She was in really hot water. So that is a thing.
Yeah.
Would the cult have given him that power?
I don't know. I mean, would his inhuman traits have, lended him that power? I don't know. I really can't say. I will say that is not very far-fetched. I don't know if that really is much of that's not very like conspiratorial, because, I just feel like that's just more of an explanation of why it seems Michael's unfazed by things, which is totally fine. Totally fine. But yeah, I mean, you can make that argument. I'd listen to it.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, this one's messed up.
Christian didn't get the answer he wanted from me. He was like, "I was hoping you were going to go down that rabbit hole."
No. You gave your thoughts on it, and
Yeah,
that's All right, are you ready? This one's really messed up.
Oh, lovely.
And listen, don't laugh, because people are gonna look at you bad if you laugh at this.
I won't.
Halloween theory: Michael Myers is autistic. Because of his lack of communications, emotions, and empathy, some suggest that Michael is actually autistic. Michael seemingly exhibits some of the condition's well-known symptoms, such as an apparent disregard for the theory of mind, the idea that other people are sentient beings without thoughts and feelings. That is ridiculous because I have relatives that are autistic, and
As
they're
do I.
some of the most kind, smart people I've ever seen.
Yeah, Michael doesn't exhibit symptoms of being autistic to me either, because I also have family members that are autistic. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, no matter what it seems like, people with autism, shout out to them because they are super smart, super creative. Some of them may be socially awkward. Some of them may not know how to handle a certain situation or what to say at the right time or what to do at the right time. But Michael's just a dick. And no, that's not autism. That's just Michael's a dick and doesn't care. No, I can't buy into that one. That's honestly kind of shitty that someone would even like.
It's
try
actually
to draw that
insulting.
parallel.
Yeah, I
like
find that pretty ridiculous and insulting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what a dick. Who wrote that?
I don't know. Well, Screen Rant's not going to claim who came up with it.
Yeah,
or they're not going to source who came up with it. Okay, this is the number one highest rated theory on Screen Rant.
Oh, let's go.
Laurie Strode freed Michael Myers in Halloween 2018. Let me read. Traumatized by the original massacre, Laurie Strode became a paranoid reclusive waiting for a chance to kill Michael. She gets her shot when Michael's prison bus crashes, but it's possible that she set him loose in the first place. As Michael's being put on the bus, Laurie is seen watching from a safe distance. The next time the prison transport is shown, it's off-road and the inmates are free. For all we know, Laurie engineered the accident so that she could kill Michael herself, showing just how big of a toll that one not Halloween night took on her. Dude, there were rumors that was a deleted scene.
I believe I know what you're talking about. But I will say with the film that we got as it's currently constructed, I'm sorry, Screen Rant, that's bullshit. For a few reasons. Laurie left and then met her family for dinner before the aftermath of the bus. And we know that because after the dinner scene, we get the scene with the kid and his dad coming upon the crashed bus first. Second, Sartain openly admits to it in the third act of the film that he engineered it because he wanted to see Michael out in the wild. And thirdly, Laurie is.
Did he really?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I watched 2018. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he basically says he wanted to see Michael and Laurie come face to face. He wanted to see the killer, the animal in his natural habitat on the hunt. So he engineered it. He did it. And he takes ownership of that. And then thirdly, Laurie doesn't even know that the bus crashed until the next morning when she sees it on the TV. So
that's true.
Yeah.
But what if she's faking it? What if she's faking it?
But that's the thing, though. We know she's not because of Sartain's admission. That's the problem. Like, if Sartain never admitted to it, this would have been a gold mine of a theory. But Sartain's like, nah, dude, I engineered this because I wanted him to meet Laurie Strode, and I wanted to see my patient come face to face with the woman that he almost killed 40 years ago because I wanted to see what it would be like. Which we can get into Sartain. He's a dumbass character. He was a fine character until that twist, and then it was like, I'm done with this guy.
Dude, he's just a cheap Dr. Loomis to me. I'm not a fan of him at all.
And people have a problem.
Looks like Super Mario.
Yes. People have a problem with Laurie's line when she says, "Oh, so you're the new Loomis." I love that line because she's saying it tongue in cheek. Like, people are going to expect this dude to be the new Loomis. Like, she's being a smartass. So I don't know, but
I get that. I don't know.
Screen Rant, you're slacking, man. Christian's over here coming up with brothers banging their sisters.
Dude, I think I came up with the best theory.
You did. Submit it to Screen Rant and be like, your article sucks. Like,
the CHH timeline is
Christian
very dark and twisted.
All the Halloween movies.
I've connected 1 through 8, dude.
Yes.
and it she would be a drunk from that,
Yes.
clearly. Um,
Yeah, like you said earlier, we should address really quick, just really quick. Let's talk about it. I don't buy the trauma in 2018 either. I
it's
think
too.
that the Laurie Strode in H2O is better because you have Halloween 2 as canon and it being her brother. That would mess me up too. But just going off of 78, all you saw was you just saw two of your friends dead, and then you got swiped in the arm by a knife, and then the dude got shot in front of you. And you would tell me that would have you this bruised and battered 40 years later. I don't know. Now I will say in Kills, I buy it because obviously she just went through the events of 2018. So now at this point I can buy it. But I feel like they did it a movie too early. I didn't buy it in 18.
Yeah, dude. That's my biggest thing. I mean, I'll take the Sartain character. I'll take it or leave it. At this point, you know, I did when he did kill the guy in the mask. The cop in the mask was just like, man, everybody's just too much in this movie, you know. But the performance of Laurie in here, it's not even necessarily that I need them to be brother and sister. If the movie would have presented itself in a much better light for them not to be, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's so traumatized by that and it's not her brother, if it would have made so much more sense, a million times more sense. And I'm not coming at it from I'm a Halloween 2 1981 fan's perspective. I'm coming at it from a just logistically, her demeanor would have made much more sense if that was a relative who knew who and where she was.
I will always say I love the fact and I hate the fact that they made them not related, because I do like Michael. Okay, I'll just say really quick, guys, and this is hard to flesh out, but in 2018, I wanted them to be brother and sister because I felt like it lended itself to the story more. It would have made sense why he was back. It would have made sense why Laurie was so traumatized. It just would have made sense. But in Kills, I am all for them not being related because everything I've heard is the dude's just on a rampage to like wipe out the town of Haddonfield for no other reason than he's just a psychopath. So I'm totally cool with that. That's why I just feel like it should have either been a one-off movie or you should have stuck to the original continuity, because now you've muddied the waters a little bit. Now, this is not me hating, guys. I'm stoked for Kills. I've had that poster for like 2 months on the wall. So like I'm stoked for the movie. I know I'm going to like it better than 18. Christian has said the same thing. He's pretty sure he's already going to like it better than 18.
I really hope so. Anyway, I really do. Really hope so.
I think you will. But I don't know. It's just I will say too, this is not hating on Jamie Lee either. She gave a fantastic performance in Halloween 2018. Like she was fantastic. Loved to see her, and she did great. But they wrote the character so damaged, and it just wasn't believable for what she went through in one movie. And I just, seeing Scout and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 that damaged after the events of the first movie. Well, yeah, that makes sense. She literally
beautiful.
Yeah, that was bad. What Scout went through in the first Rob movie was way worse than what Jamie went through in John's movie. Like, let's just be totally honest about it. So yeah, I just didn't think it made sense for Laurie. But again, now that the events of 18 have happened, I'm totally cool with it for Kills. Because now I would get why she'd be like, dude, screw this guy. Like, I can't kill this guy. I can't get away from this guy. I get it now for Kills. I'm all on board. But 18, man. Which is funny. Right. I like 18 better than H2O, but I like Laurie better in H2O.
So I'm looking for one more theory, and I think I found it.
Oh, here we go.
I was actually going to get into some of the theories about Halloween Kills, but honestly, everybody, and I'm with everybody, we have seen way too much crap. I don't want to talk about the potential of Halloween Kills in the event that any of it could possibly be spoilers, so I'm not going to get into Kills. But we're going to end it off with this one more theory. Michael Myers had his identity stolen. Could it be possible that Michael Myers isn't really Michael Myers? One Reddit user thinks that another patient in the hospital, likely one with an obsessive disorder, I just got an ad pop up on here, essentially steals 21-year-old Michael's identity in order to take over his life. By this theory, it's the fake Michael who steals the station wagon while Dr. Loomis makes a phone call.
That's a little out there for me. I guess not. I don't know. I don't want to get into spoiler. It's not even a spoiler. It's already like out there. It's in the promotional material. I will just say really quick, guys, if you have avoided all Halloween Kills trailers, mute me for 30 seconds. That's the warning. It's not a spoiler. It's in the marketing, but whatever.
If it's in the marketing, go ahead.
There is a scene in one of the featurettes that they have released where Laurie is telling the crowd at one point in Kills outside the hospital, that's not him. That's not him. I've seen his face. That's not him. And I take that as they've mistaken somebody for Michael, and they're going to try to beat this dude's ass and kill him. And Laurie's like, no, wait, that's not Michael. I know what he looks like. So that theory could hold some weight until Kills comes out, because I'm assuming Laurie's going to see his face in this movie. I mean, they keep talking about how his mask is going to come off. She's going to see his face, I think. And she knows what his face looks like, as she has said.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Up to this point, maybe you could say that, but also how many other mental patients that are, 61 years old are damn near unkillable. I feel like that's a trait very specific to one man. And so I don't know. Actually,
okay, we're going to one more fan theory. One more fan theory. We're going to wrap this up. This has been one of the most exquisite conversations I've had in a while. We broke a lot of new ground tonight.
We did. We really crossed some boundaries, and I love it.
All right, the last fan theory we're going to discuss. Michael is an extraterrestrial parasite.
Venom? Michael is Venom. That's why Venom 2 had to come out before Halloween Kills, so they could set it up. They wanted you to see Venom 2, and then in Halloween Kills, they're going to be like, Michael is actually a symbiote.
Oh boy. This is let's see what
read it.
John Carpenter made Halloween in 1978 and The Thing in 1982. Okay, I'm with you so far. User Bad Lunch 77 suspects the film might be connected. The Thing, an extraterrestrial parasite dubbed The Shape, is able to make itself appear human. This theory posits, whatever that word is, posits. This theory posits, that Halloween is actually a prequel to that film, and that Michael snapped into becoming a psychopath because his body was inhabited by The Shape. So The Shape is actually a extraterrestrial parasite that took over Michael Myers, and that's why he won't die.
You want to be honest with you? Like, that's definitely out of left field. They did not intend that, but like, you could totally make that argument, and like, I would not be like, that's asinine. Like, you could make. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, if they would ever kill him in a sense where he would lose a limb or something, and he can regenerate it, that's one thing.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like for me, you could make that case, man. That's not as outlandish as some might think. Like, because still to this day, we don't have an explanation of what he really is. Oh, he's a person, but he's not. He's kind of like a ghost or a demon, but he's not. So it's like, well, what? I don't want to drop an F-bomb. It's already going to be demonetized anyway, but for any of the children listening, I'm not going to drop the F-bomb, but what the bleep is he then? You know what I mean? Like, what is he?
He's an extraterrestrial parasite.
Exactly. So,
dude, I was thinking about something. Let's say people went into Halloween and watched the movie 2018, and I want you to try to think about every Halloween fanatic's thought process. if in Halloween 2018 everybody's in the theater, they're watching the movie, everything is what it is, up until the point to where the shotgun goes off in the house and it hits Michael's hand, right? Now hold on, listen to me.
I know what you're gonna say. Okay, so.
I want you to imagine what would have happened on the internet and with the Halloween fans if this would have happened. The shotgun goes off, boom, it takes off 2 of the fingers, and they do a shot of the hand, and the 2 fingers pop right back out. Would you have been like,
I would
oh
have
my
shit my
God?
pants. I legitimately like would have, yeah, I would have been like, that would have gotten a visceral reaction out of me.
You would have sit up. You'd have been like,
theater. Yes.
And don't you think we need something like that to shake things up, baby? Let's shake this shit up for once.
Christian, I'm telling you, and I'm telling the audience, I'm not spoiling anything, but I'm telling you what I have heard is Halloween Kills has a twist that is not like the Sartain twist. That is awesome. That you will not see coming. That will leave you'll walk out of the theater like, what the hell? I've heard that from multiple people that have seen it. So it sounds to me like there's going to be something, maybe not to that level, but there's going to be something that is not this formulaic Halloween slasher movie. You're going to get something like that.
I'm ready to see this damn movie. Yeah, I got to see this damn movie.
I keep wondering, like, I'm just theorizing in my head. I'm like, are they going to reveal that, like, maybe they are actually brother and sister? What's going to happen? One of my friends put it like this. He said, the ending of the movie has a very Empire Strikes Back, I am your father type moment. And I was like, dude, you cannot say that shit to me. Like, because now I'm going to want to know, but I'm not going to spoil it for myself. But I'm telling you guys, you think you're ready. I think I'm ready. We are not ready for what we're about to see. Like, we're not ready for it. And everyone's talking about the ending. I've read non-spoiler reviews from some critics. Like, I don't want any spoilers, and everybody has mentioned the ending. Everyone.
Real quick, before we wrap, dude, I read a critic review of Halloween Kills, and the headline was Halloween Kills is another, slasher film with a high body count, yippee or something. And I read a little bit of the review, and the review made fun of the original Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
Tell me how much weight you would put into that critic. How much weight would you put into their opinion?
I'd hit him in the face if I met the critic.
Let's be nice now, Nick. You're not going to punch him in the face.
I'm not a violent guy, guys.
Dude, what if that's Brock Lesnar who wrote that review?
I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating, but I read the same review. And I actually have a screenshot on my phone of the excerpt where he said that Halloween was a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I said, are you kidding me? You can make the argument it kind of ripped off Black Christmas and Psycho. You cannot make any connection with Texas Chainsaw. None. Like, this guy is not a horror fan. It's very evident. He has no idea what he's talking about. And he doesn't appreciate, when it comes to this genre, he doesn't appreciate slashers. That's fine. That's why you've seen so many people on YouTube make videos about the reviews. I have myself talking about, guys, look, some of these reviews I'm reading from these like pretentious, uppity critics that don't watch slasher movies actually has me more excited because they're using things that I want as like negatives for the movie. Like, yeah, it has a high body count. It's crazy and it's high energy and it's just nonstop. And I'm like,
do you take a check?
Yeah, that's so bad, dude. I really wanted a boring movie where like 2 people died.
I wanted character development.
Exactly. So guys, don't put any damn stock into that. But I'm glad you brought that up because
bottom line is that dude is a clown.
Yes, clown. Right. No, that clown is better than him. Don't even give him that mantle.
It's a killer clown.
I know. But dude, it just pissed me off. Look, can critics stay in their own lane? Like, can we have that conversation and just be like, look, you don't like horror? All right, don't go watch this movie because you're going to mess up the Rotten Tomatoes score. You're going to tell some fans that were weary about it that it's bad and they're not going to go see it because of your uneducated opinion on slasher movies.
Yeah, don't listen to people that get paid to review movies. Listen to the 30-year-old factory worker who loves the Nightmare on Elm Street. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We can laugh at ourselves
it's
too.
It's true though, because look at our subs. Look at the people that like support us. They take our words as like gold. because they're like, I agree with them a lot. If they liked a movie, I'll probably
We
like
have
it.
built a relationship with our audience, and I
Yes.
get that, and they get a sense of who we are, so they will they put more weight into our opinions. But some dude that you just read, who you don't know behind a computer, that's getting these paid reviews, and not necessarily paid by the companies, but they're critic reviews. You know, everybody walks their own path in life. Everybody is influenced by their surroundings, and that is going to affect your entertainment. It just is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's why we're all different. We all have a path in life, and it affects everything about us. And I think, to be fair, like, yeah, somebody that like that, I can understand that they don't, movies like Texas Chainsaw and the original Halloween, they're not great films to them. But you know, horror fans, man, there are certain universal truths, and Halloween is an American. Halloween is, if it's not the Bible, damn it, it's at least the New Testament for us or something, So it's
Yeah.
just like when you disrespect the film that gave so much of us our love, you damn right we're gonna fight back a little bit.
You don't disrespect Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare, Texas Chainsaw, Black Christmas, Jaws, The Exorcist, certain movies like that that are on Mount Rushmore for a reason.
Right.
Just don't. If it's not for you, your preference is I don't like to see this, that's fine. But don't trash it because it's not for you.
Right.
Because then you get everybody like us that are like, oh, so since this isn't your cup of tea, it's garbage. Oh, okay. I get it. I don't come at you guys, talking to these critics, for your rom-coms and whatever the hell you do praise. So don't come at me for what I like. And what you said, Christian, being like a product of your environment and stuff like that. That's literally the reason you and I are where we are today, is the upbringing into horror from the people around us. My mother introduced me to these movies when I was a child, and I should not have been watching them. And she started this crazy obsession. So every time she comes to my house and she goes, oh my God, I don't want to sleep in your guest room. It's like satanic in there. She'll like make jokes. And I'm like, this is your fault. This is your fault. You could have shown me rom-coms when I was a kid, and who knows where I would have been, but you showed me Halloween and Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street. And here we are. So, guys, don't put any weight into it. Okay. Christian and I had this conversation about a month ago when the first reviews came out for it after its premiere. And the general consensus was, oh, if you're looking for like some deep storytelling, Halloween Kills isn't for you. And Christian and I were both like, oh, I think I'm going to like this better than Halloween 2018. Yeah. So if you're going for a high body count and Michael at his just most badass, then you're gonna have a great time. And that's all that needs to be said.
You wrote this. Is this the last podcast we're filming before Halloween? Maybe one more.
Well, yeah, maybe one more, because Kills, we won't be seeing Kills until Thursday, right? Are you seeing it opening night?
Is it midnight is it midnight?
No, they have advanced screenings now that start usually around 5 p.m. on Thursday. I'm going to see it.
I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see it in theaters first. I'm going to Peacock it, then take my mom to go see it the following week, that weekend. But I'm probably going to Peacock it first. So I don't know.
It's up to you if you wanted to do another one, but I wanted to let everybody know. I talked to Christian about this, and I reeled in the big fish. He agreed to be on a discussion panel about Halloween Kills on the channel after we see it. Obviously, there's no date yet or anything like that. And obviously, we're going to do an episode of the podcast too. So expect over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, a lot of Kills content. But I don't know, man. It's up to you. If you wanted to do another episode for next week, before that,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. But I actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I had an idea, and I know we're still recording, whatever, the people can hear it. I don't care. I had an idea that I mentioned on a live stream last night. And I said, I'm going to go see Kills in theaters with Justin, but then I want to do a live commentary of it, maybe like a week later, watching it on Peacock. And I thought that might be cool. So I don't know. I know you're a busy dude, man, but I'd like to include you in this as much as possible.
Yeah, we'll see if I can. I will. It's always wild, man. I got to plan stuff out. I've been trying to do an interview with Mid-Level Media for like
Yes.
a month now, and I have to keep rescheduling with the poor guy. Thankfully, he's been really cool about it. Ken, it took me a while too. The slasher, what was his name?
Sledgehammer Horror.
Sledgehammer Horror, good guy, but
Yeah.
It's back and forth. Hey man, push it back, push it back, push it back. My life is nuts, but of course I want to.
Yeah.
If not, we'll do it on the podcast later on too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're gonna watch it at least 10 times before the year's over.
I saw 2018 in theaters 4 times. So yeah.
I did 3 times.
Yeah. So like, I'll see it multiple times. But Christian he reminded me a few days ago about this, guy. So I need to tell you this. If you're not familiar with my channel and you've just been watching me on the podcast, this is my shameless plug. My channel name is The Lost River Drive-In. If you have not checked me out, obviously I'm a Halloween guy, but I do all things horror. Check out the channel, The Lost River Drive-In. Check me out on Instagram, The Lost River Drive-In. And although I don't use Twitter a lot, the Twitter is The Lost River DR1. So those are my handles. Subscribe, follow, like. I would greatly appreciate it. Doing this podcast for the past, 3-4 months has been awesome. And I appreciate all of the people that have already come over and supported my, social media and channel because of it. But I wanted to just put that out there for all you guys, that if you're not aware where to find me, that's where you can find me.
Yes. I've told Nick, I said, dude, it's not, it wasn't that I don't want to promote you. I literally just don't think about it. I'm such a horrible host.
No, you're not, because I don't even think about it either, because we just get into these conversations. I'm having fun. I'm like, I don't even care, like they'll find me if they want to find me. But if you've been looking to find me and you're like, what the hell is this guy's channel name? The Lost River Drive-In. So
I am going to update our overlay, and I'm going to have our social stuff at the bottom. That way people will know exactly where to find us and stuff. So I'll get all your handles and all that. We're going to get it pro up here before too long, dude. We're going to start looking fancy. I like to keep it a little punk rock and not too glossy, but a couple Twitter handles ain't going to, we're not going to become a sellout.
No.
If we put some Twitter handles.
It's funny you mention that, because next Friday, everyone, if we watch these videos sometimes and you go, there's a little bit of an echo on Nick's end, just a little bit, not bothersome, but it's there. Next Friday, I am officially ordering an HD webcam as soon as I get paid. So we will no longer have a janky setup on mine.
It's funny because you'll have to get a new computer soon. You get people stepping on computers.
Yeah. Well, luckily I got one still that works, but I'm going to get the webcam.
It's done fine, dude. Luckily, I was a little worried. I figured my dad calls them crap tops when you have old laptops that are lying around the house. Hey, Christian, give me the crap top.
I'm going to give you guys a look at it. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Oh, wait, wrong way? No, that wasn't the wrong way. Look at this. Y'all want to see the crap top, as Christian's dad calls it, that I'm using? There she blows. There it is.
Is that your wife's?
Yes. Yes, it is my wife's. She was like, I used that for school years ago. And I was like, I'm using it for YouTube.
What's on that? Is it Windows X or X7 or 8?
I've been with her for 3.5 years. And for the 3.5 years I've been with her, every time I get on it, it tells me I need to update Windows.
Just update it, dude.
It's been like 2017 since it's been updated. So I don't know what's on there. But yeah, I'm getting the webcam. I'm doing it. I'm tired of inconveniencing Christian. And
I'm just glad, dude. Nobody has ever complained about the echo. When we talk, it's not bad, but when we stop, when there's a little bit of air between us, you can hear just the tail end of something. But luckily, it's never been a problem. It's worked. Yeah. But I am excited to I am excited to be echo free.
The professionalism goes up a notch. Okay, don't worry, guys. So wanted to let everyone know that. But this was an awesome conversation. As you can see behind me, I'm a Halloween guy. So if you're new to me, this was fun. I can just talk Halloween until I'm blue in the face. Christian, I don't know how you wanna go out with this one, but obviously your show, floor's yours, man.
We'll end it with this. I was thinking about the thumbnail for this episode. I've come up with a grand idea.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna have Maury Povich on the thumbnail, and it's going to say the DNA results show that Michael, you are the father. And it's going to be Laurie. It's going to be Laurie looking sad in one seat, and Michael being like, I'm going to try to get Michael looking like with his hands up in the air, like, yeah, in the other chair, because it's going to go in relation to my exclusive theory.
The exclusive scoop from Chana. Y'all got it here tonight.
People are gonna look at me so bad now after this, but you know what?
They can't judge. The incest is already in the Halloween.
It's already there. Damn it!
Yeah,
blame Daniel Farrens.
Exactly. I'm just saying, man.
Let me hit up Daniel Farrens, dude. We're gonna make the prequel, the real Halloween 3.
Hey, Christian, don't give me ideas, okay? Because you just mentioned Daniel Farrens, and I know he's not a very busy guy, and I would love to have him on the podcast.
Oh, we need to have him because I need to tell him my idea.
Yeah. And I'll be like, shit, I'll call Malik right now and I'll get a script together and we'll do this, man. And then Christian will make his directorial debut from Uncle Jerry to the new Halloween.
No,
what'd you call
honestly, what for the real Halloween 3, or
yeah, what was the title?
The real Halloween 3.
Okay.
Oh no, the rape of Michael Myers.
Yes, yeah. There you
and
go.
Dude, if he was alive, Danny Steinman, the director from Friday the 13th Part 5, would have been my number one choice to make this film. He would have been my number one. Rest in peace, Danny Steinman, man. Made one of the greatest slashers ever. If I don't have Danny Steinman, though, I would probably get... We're going to end it right here. I got. Let's pick the director for Halloween, The Rape of Michael Myers.
Rob Zombie.
Nah, Rob's not edgy enough. He's not edgy enough for what I need to do here. Let's see. Who's going to direct my film? I might give Rosenthal a shot again.
Dear God.
Rosenthal step up to the plate one more time. And then I'm going to have Rosenthal. Remember what he said in Halloween 25 Years of Terror? Rosenthal, you remember when you said you directed that one scene in a thong? Yeah, I did. But you direct this whole movie in a thong, man. That's my one stipulation. And you better be wearing shower shoes and a thong.
I'm reaching out to Fede Alvarez. He is he really gets into the schlocky and the dirty and the grimy. And I really think that he could bring Halloween, The Rape of Michael Myers
onto the big screen.
Yeah, he could just make... I mean, look at Don't Breathe, Turkey Baster. I mean, I'm just saying... I think this guy could do it. Fede Alvarez.
I might see if Fede is I'm gonna let him pitch me. I'm also gonna Tarantino's been wanting to step up to the plate and do one horror film. I might talk to Quentin.
Well, Tarantino has already said he's only doing one more movie before he retires, and everyone thinks it's Kill Bill Volume 3. So
I want him to do a horror movie, and he sounds like he would want to do that.
Quentin, do you have any interest in Halloween, The Rape of Michael Myers?
I do.
So, you son of a bitch,
I need to know the foot quota.
Yes.
I need to talk to the writer now.
And can I put Uma Thurman in it? Like, as long as I can do that, have creative control, absolutely. Let's do it.
I got to stop because I'm already trying to plan this movie, like who would play Michael, and I'm actually going to give the role to this will be the next podcast. We're going to end it right here, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Halloween timelines and fan theories episode. This was one for the books.
Yes. You guys kick ass. Have a good night, everyone.
We love y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye. This has been a production of the You Need a Horror podcast. You need it, we got it. Thank you for listening.